Hello everybody, how are you? You probably caught up with the news this morning, but we found out this morning that Queen Elizabeth II, our head of state, passed away at 96. I don't know how it's interesting because I'm not really a Republican, I'm not really a monarchist, I'm not really anything, but I do like, the Queen. When Prince Philip died in 2021, it felt like your grandfather had died. That was the feeling. And so this morning it feels like the same thing, that my grandmother's died, from my whole life. So much has happened in Australia. We've had, I think, something like 10 in my whole life. There's been bushfires, there's been floods, there's been the pandemic, there's been all these disasters and everything. I mean, even war, going back to World War II, wars, disasters, famine. We haven't really had famine, but droughts and bushfires and floods, and through it all, the Queen's been there. And I was listening to Kevin Rudd just earlier this morning, and he said that whenever she would meet the Prime Minister, she was so over, she knew everything that was going on in the country. She was so well, her knowledge was so well, and he just sort of said, well, he was glad he wasn't a UK politician because she'd be all over them. So today it's just the emptiness of what happens when, a grandmother has passed. And King Charles. When you think that we've had the Queen on the back of our coins for my whole life, and for most of the lives of many Australians, it's really interesting. I mean, and if you look at some of the older coins, there was a younger version, and she's gotten older and older. And if you look at our coins now, there is a 90. They've just updated the coins to represent her distinguished features, and now we're going to have King Charles. So it's all going to be, there's all these things that are going on. So anyway, it's sort of an empty feeling today. Very interesting it's going to be now. Because now that Prince William is now going to be the Prince of Wales, he's now second in line, and George is third in line. Never thought this, she was 96. Logic would tell you that she was going to go at some stage, that she couldn't live forever. But reality was, you thought she was always going to live forever because she was the Queen. So anyway, they're just my thoughts, and it's a really interesting day being in the Commonwealth. She's our head of state. She's represented by the Governor-General in Australia and governors at the state. So I know that the Prime Minister and the Governor-General are going to the UK for the funeral. I know that there is some memorials. So I know that we're having a National Day of Mourning when they return. I know that tomorrow they're laying some wreaths at I think at Government House, which is technically the royal residence, representative residence, wherever that is. I know that today there's going to be a 96 gun salute, one for every year of her life, and I know that there's all the flags are flying at half-mast today. And so whether you're a Republican or a monarchist, or a monarchist, today is a significant day. And a day that many people have never seen in their lifetime. I mean, this is just unprecedented, having the monarch pass, My parents, for example, both in their late 60s, have only ever known Queen Elizabeth. So there's a couple of generations of Australia that has only ever seen Queen Elizabeth. So it's going to be definitely an interesting time. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Yes, it's going to be an interesting day of lots of processing, lots of memories. I did dance for her when I was in year 3. When she came to Melbourne, I was right up the back, one of 5,000 school children. So that's my royal story. But yeah, but my opinion is, I don't think she's ever been the same since Prince Philip died 17 months ago. Someone said he was 17 months. He died on the 9th of whatever, and then she died on the 9th of September. So there's been 17 months between them, but I don't think she's ever been the same. Anyway, yeah, we're in for some interesting times, and don't know what the future brings, but it's fair to say that it feels like Grandma's died today. I hope you have a good one. Bye for now.